Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast with Rob, my heterosexual life partner, like always. And we're joined by Chris Chiswick, or Orange Grove Horrors on Instagram. Well, that's where I first came across you, Chris. A very lovely collection, by the way. So yeah, today we'll just be talking to you about how you got into horror, stuff like that. So take it away, sir. How did you get into the lovely world of horror?
Well, what do you want to know? When I first got into the stuff?
Yeah, what was your first horror film you watched?
First horror film I ever watched? Wow, that's a good one.
Well, the first one you remember, we'll do.
The first horror stuff I ever saw as a kid was probably late on ITV on probably a Friday or Saturday night. It was called Hammer House of Horror. I don't know if you've seen it or not. That one. It was just like a British anthology show. You know, they did like about 10 episodes or something. I don't know. But I used to stay up late to watch that as a kid. I was probably about 6 or 7. If I could stay awake, then I'd watch an episode. If I fell asleep, then obviously I didn't catch it. But there's a couple of episodes in that really kind of captured my imagination for spooky, scary stuff. So I think that was the first thing I ever saw that kind of made a bit of a lasting impression. I think shortly after that, it was probably Jaws. Jaws was on. It was a TV premiere, early 80s. I remember seeing that, and that was probably the thing that got me into the whole horror, genre or whatever you want. That was probably the film, Jaws, and then probably shortly after that, it was the video shop days. You know, renting films out, going to friends' houses, telling my mum I was watching, Superman when I was watching American Werewolf. You know, that sort of thing. You know, sneaking into friends' houses to watch these things, and then I think after that we had Nightmare on Elm Street. And then Friday the 13th and all those sort of things that came along after. Yeah.
I think I vaguely remember in a post you put on Instagram once. I think you said that you went to see Halloween 4 in the cinema. And did your mum take you?
She did. Yeah, she did. That's correct.
That's quite an experience, I imagine. I mean, Halloween 4, like I say, I don't know many people that have seen that in a cinema before. It's like, obviously it's popular amongst horror fans, but no one ever talks about its cinematic release. So when I read that on Instagram, I thought that was quite fascinating, and I think it's great. Like my mum always took me to sort of, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that.
Yeah.
I think the first 15 I ever got into in the cinema was True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was 19.
Someone Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
it was a machine gun that falls down the stairs.
That's it, yeah.
That's fun. That's a fun film.
That was 93, I think it was. But Halloween 4, I think that's quite a unique cinematic experience, I imagine.
Yeah, there's a bit of a story behind that because the release was delayed in England by about a year. So it came out in America in October 1988, and it didn't get to England until October 1989. So it was a full year wait. By this time, I'd been reading Fangoria magazine and lapping it all up and that type of stuff. And I remember it being advertised for cinema release. I think I was about 14, something like that. And I begged my mum to take me to see it, which she did. She put a bit of eyeliner on my growing bum fluff, whatever, and made me look a little bit older. And we got in to see it. So yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, to see that young at the cinema, because I think that was the last cinema release a Halloween film got until H2O. I don't think 5 was never theatrical over here, and 6 wasn't. They were straight to video. So the chance to see one of the early Halloweens as a kid at the cinema was like a big deal.
Yeah, like I say, it's just not something I because obviously with this week with Halloween Kills coming out, obviously October, Halloween in general, just all the vibes are going, isn't it, for horror? But are you excited for Halloween Kills? And what did you think of the 2018 version?
I really liked it. Yeah, I really thought it was really good. I've enjoyed it. In fact, we rewatched it on Saturday night. Me and Lucy watched it again because she's not seen it since the cinema. So we were, trying to give it a catch up. But I've watched it several times. I've got, I quite like it. I think it's really good, well made. These guys seem to know what they're doing. These new guys that are in charge of these movies, David Gordon and Danny McBride, they seem to get the essence
It's quite strange, isn't it? Because Danny McBride,
two unlikely horror pioneers.
Yeah.
Danny McBride, obviously known for his comedy, and obviously he's come along and did he write the script?
Yes, he wrote the script, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, with David Gordon Green and another guy. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and like I say, they have been very respectful to the franchise. You know, and from what I've seen in Halloween Kills, from the trailer and people that are in it, they're obviously keeping bringing in new blood, but obviously keeping it nostalgia as well, keeping it quite level.
Definitely, yeah. And Michael Myers, they seem to get it, how to light him and how to make him move and how to shoot him. That's some of the earlier sequels. They kind of forgot how to make him creepy. It was just kind of just another guy, just like a Jason clone. But I think I think James Jude's one of the best. Since
he's lovely as well. By all accounts, like meant to be a very nice guy.
Yeah. But we're going on Friday. We've got tickets booked for Friday, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, really am.
Are you going to the Full of Horror this year?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're going on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going Saturday as well.
I was going, but not anymore.
A lot of the guests got cancelled, unfortunately, with COVID and things like that. But there's a couple of people that still want to meet that I've not actually met, so I'll be looking forward to meeting a couple. But Richard Dreyfuss was a big one that I was a bit
wasn't it?
To get one of the three from Jaws, it's one of those once in a lifetime opportunities for Jaws fans like ourselves.
The two have died, haven't they? Richard Dreyfuss.
Well, Robert Shaw died not long after Jaws. I think he died 78, 79.
78, 78.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's not. No. And like I say, but he's booked for next year apparently. So that there's always that, isn't there?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. But I want to talk to you about. So obviously on Instagram, you talk a lot about horror films in general, but I think it was it 2019? You went to LA, didn't you, California, and you sort of went to experience a lot of the famous locations from certain horror films, and like House of Halloween. I believe you went to the house, Nightmare on Elm Street. So like, can you tell us a bit more about it, like for people watching? Because I think, like I say, there's not many people go visit locations in all over the world and things like that, but like I say, to go all the way to America is, and go to these places. You had some crazy experiences there, didn't you? You sort of met people that you maybe didn't expect to.
Yeah. The first time I went to LA was about 20 years ago, but we never did the locations because it's kind of harder back then. Social media makes it easiest for us to be able to find out where these places are, and Google Maps and stuff like that. It's so easy now. But back then, it was a bit harder. I think the second trip to LA, we did the Halloween house, but we just took a couple of pictures and went on his way. It wasn't until I started doing the holidays with Paul that we started taking it a little bit more seriously and visiting key locations. So we all, every time we go to LA, we always go to the Doyle and Wallace house. It's a ritual. You've got to do it. It's just off Sunset Boulevard, so it's easy to find. But the last time we went to LA, we went there to take some pictures as we normally do, and the owner came out, and we started talking, asking a couple of questions, and we told him we were from England, and he opened the gates and let us in. So that was a kind of a big deal, because I've never seen anybody have access to the actual garden and the porch, and behind the house. He gave us full access. We spoke to him for about 10-15 minutes on his porch. He was going to let us in, but he said his wife was getting in the bathroom or something. So, but we took loads of pictures. I was shaking. It was a real big deal. Unbelievable. Who would have thought? All them years, and I'm stood on the porch. Where Donald Pleasance and Jamie Lee Curtis stood.
That's the. Am I right in thinking that is there a house that was in Halloween that's been moved? Like it was in one spot and then the house.
It's the Myers house itself. That's in South Pasadena, whereas the Doyle and Wallace houses are in Hollywood, just off Sunset. So they only filmed. I think they only filmed that location for them two houses. But the bulk of the majority of the movie was shot in South Pasadena, which me and Paul did. We ended up getting a taxi, and we ended up doing a full day of locations. But the Myers house that you're referring to, yeah, it was in another spot, and they moved it. In fact, it was the original spot was across from the Elwood house from Halloween 2.
Wow.
That's the original spot where it was stood. So they moved it literally about 200 yards down the street, and that's every photo you see of it now is that's where it is.
Because is there like, funny enough, through your profile basically, I discovered Hallowed Grounds, which is it Sean Clark?
Sean, yeah.
Because I've been watching his YouTube channel basically. I'm watching all his Hallowed Ground locations which he goes to, and some of them, like I say, when I was looking at your photos basically on where you were going, sort of thing, very similar sort of vibes, sort of thing. And I think, like, you know, I wish somebody. I keep on telling Chad. I think Chad would be perfect to do a UK version.
He's a flirt, he is.
Yeah.
No, I think Chad would do a really good job of it, like, you know, presenting and whatnot. But like, you know, but is there, for you personally, is there a holy grail location that you've not yet been to, but you want to go in the future?
Wow.
Or was the Halloween house, was that it, or?
Yeah, there's a couple of ones that we still want to do. I think the majority of the big ones, you know, the big iconic ones we've done. I suppose the Exorcist steps, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
that's in Washington. Washington DC.
Washington, yeah. That'd be a good one to visit. And that's a good question. Yeah, there's other ones in LA, like the Poltergeist house. We're thinking about doing that next time we go. And the alley from They Live, where they have the big fight.
Oh wow! Yeah, I've not, like, from film locations. I've followed a lot of people who do the go to certain locations around the world for films, and I've never seen anyone do the alleyway for on They Live. That's quite unique.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, we were talking about that. I think we'll probably do it. We did the church from Prince of Darkness last time.
That was an amazing one. Yeah,
was that still?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And the fog as well, wasn't there?
We went to the church from the fog. Yeah. Unfortunately, the lighthouse is way thousands of miles up the coast there, right. Near San Francisco, up that way on another coast. But the actual church from the fog, that's just up the road from the bar where they filmed Halloween 3, the Buccaneer bar, where Tom Atkins is drinking.
Yeah, that's right.
It's literally about 300-yard walk, and you're at the church from the fog. It's a bit bizarre because they're all kind of in a close proximity, and you can't get your head around the fact that all this stuff, all this iconic stuff, is filmed within a close proximity. And they let us in. The first time we went, the people from the church, we seem to get lucky every time we go over there. They just said, "Oh yeah, do you want to come in?" So we went on a Sunday. I think they just finished mass or something, and just kind of let us in. So we were just taking pictures and freaking out and geeking out and all that sort of stuff. It was really good.
It's crazy to think, like I say, that literally 1 minute there's something quite spiritual going on, and then the next minute the horror fans turn up, and then
ruin it. It's completely ruined the vibe. Yeah. Fortunately, there was no one in there, so we had access, and they were really nice. They were telling us all the history of the church, and they didn't seem to know the film, The Fog. They seemed to be a bit hazy with. I think they knew something's been filmed there, but they weren't. They didn't seem to know the full details of it.
No, that's the real blasphemy. That's blasphemy.
I was going to say, for their own faith, it's probably a good thing that they don't know about it, because it might actually put them off going back.
Probably, yeah. And it all still looks exactly the same. That's the weird vibe about it. The whole thing looks exactly the same as it does in the movie. It's unbelievable.
That's the same as the Prince of Darkness church, isn't it? Because that looks exactly the same as well. I mean,
yeah, pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, a couple of alterations, but yeah, exactly the same. The alleyway at the side where they're trying to climb up to the window, that's all still there. They've moved the fire exit stairs at the back to a different location, but it's still there. You can kind of do all the stuff. It's
Have they got like plaques there to sort of like commemorate like where there was a certain film made there, or is it, I suppose, maybe not the best thing to put, is it really? On a church. The Prince of Darkness was built on this church.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely nothing at all, Rob. Nothing.
Have you been to New Jersey or anything to see the Camp Crystal Lake site? 'Cause that's where Friday the 13th was filmed, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, there is a couple of. Now I'm thinking about it. I'd love to see, and I know I'd never get to see it. Is the barn from Friday the 13th Part 3? The house itself burnt down, unfortunately, in a fire. So that's no longer there, but the barn's still there. But it's on like a movie ranch sort of thing. You've got to have permission to go on there, so probably not get to do that. And the house from the Tommy Jarvis house from Part 4.
Is that still on?
That's still, it's still there. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's in Topanga Canyon, but it's quite a way out. You know, it's a bit a good drive to get there, and someone lives there, so you kind of don't want to be. You kind of don't want to just turning up and taking pictures if it's kind of someone's house, you know, as a bit of privacy. You've got to respect people's privacy when you're visiting these locations.
Yeah. I was going to ask actually, so the person you went to, told me what the Halloween house, when you went there, so the person who came out to speak to you and you got to chat to him on his porch, like, is he a fan of the actual franchise or?
He didn't say he was a fan, but he kind of relishes the fact that, you know, his house is kind of a part of horror history. He was a really nice guy. Yeah, they filmed a season of American Horror Story there as well. I think it was Apocalypse. I'm not sure. So it's used quite predominantly in American Horror Story Apocalypse. And he told me how much they gave him to to kind of use his house. Quite a decent amount. Yeah.
It's kind of like a museum, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was lying or not, but if you remember the first image from the very first image that they showed from the last Halloween film when it was announcing filming, is Jamie Lee Curtis stood on that very porch. And there's Michael Myers stood at the back holding a knife. Now, he said it was him. That guy, that owner of the house, said it was me. I put the mask on, but I don't know.
Maybe James Jude Courtney wasn't available that day.
Well, I don't even think James Jude Courtney being cast. It was like literally the first, announcement that Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back to do another Halloween. So
maybe that
I'm not sure. He told us some other things as well, but I'm not sure if he was telling us the truth. He told us they'd measured up in the bedrooms because I don't know if you know, but there was supposed to be a scene in the last Halloween film where it's supposed to be the end of Halloween 1, where Dr. Loomis shoots Myers out of the bedroom. And that was supposed to be like a flashback scene, but they never used it. But he said that they were measuring up his bedroom and, you know, trying to get the proximity right and everything for the scene. But whether he was telling the truth or not, I don't know. They said they paid him a lot of money as well for that, and they never even ended up filming it. So
not a bad day's wages.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Helps pay the mortgage.
I think probably hasn't about money he's making.
Well, no, I mean, for all we know, you might get people who pop in and say, yeah, come in for $10.
Yeah, like an actual museum, what you were saying, yeah.
But you can't come in if the wife's in the bath.
Because you didn't grease his palm, that Chris. Give him the $10 he required for entry.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It was strange because we were stood on the porch, me and Paul, and the tour bus went by, and they're all pointing at us. And we stood on the porch, we're just like waving. I'm thinking, I'm just a geek from Yorkshire, you know, stood on the porch from Halloween, and I'm like waving at the tour bus.
Cast or crew, perhaps, thinking, "Oh, what's going on here? What's going on?"
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's weird because Donald Pleasance is like from Workshop, so I always have this little private moment to myself, thinking that, you know, there's two guys from Yorkshire that have stood on that porch, so yeah. I'm one of them.
I think the things they think about it. I mean, obviously, because maybe back in the day, people might have visited that set. Well, of course, now with social media, like I suppose back then you would just taken the photo, you know, a picture on your camera, and that's the end of it. But now it's amazing how you can just share these like experiences with people, and they can sort of, you know, tell you about theirs and whatnot, and they can inspire you to go and do certain things. Because, like I say, watching Hallowed Ground and things like that, watch it. You know, I think it's amazing that you can go to these places and just go, you know, sit in these areas where these famous scenes or actors have been. I think it's such a cool thing to do.
It's brilliant. Sean does a really good job. I'm a big fan of what he does. I used to watch all his on the Scream Factory Blu-rays. I'd often buy them just if he was doing a locations piece, because I'm fascinated with what these places look like now. Because some of them have not been seen since, and it's amazing that some of them are exactly the same. Some sadly have been torn down, but yeah, it's really interesting. I quite like it.
I watched his Silence of the Lambs one recently. I thought that was really good.
Oh, I've not seen that one. Yeah, is it?
Yeah, that
good?
showed you like where the FBI building was. Because obviously you can't really visit the FBI building, but it was showing you like it was amazing. It was showing you blueprints and things like that. I was like, this is really detailed.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. No, pressure that is. You've got to do it. It's got to happen. Obviously, as you can tell as well, Chris, you are a massive Halloween fan. If you can't tell, there's a massive picture behind you for anyone watching, and obviously you've been to all these cool places. What's your favourite film in the franchise out of all of them?
The first one.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I was just double checking more than anything.
Yeah. The first one.
I'm
the 3 guy.
Yeah,
and it's strange because though it's not kind of part of the franchise because it's a different story.
Yeah.
Even though it has got Mike Myers on the TV.
Yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis on the time, are we?
Correct. And it's got the John Carpenter soundtrack and whatnot. And but yeah, we are Halloween 3 guys. But apparently they're going to be, after they finished Halloween Ends, the rumor has it they want to explore the Halloween 3 sort of, the original idea with
the Shamrock Company.
Well, no, because obviously
the anthology.
The anthology,
right,
because obviously Carpenter's idea, or amongst other people, they wanted to go off and leave Michael Myers' story and then explore other stories. And obviously Halloween 3 was the beginning of that, but obviously at the time was not popular enough to sort of carry it on. But now I think there's enough fan base and nostalgia and history to sort of carry it on. Is that the kind of thing?
Halloween 3 is more popular now than it ever has been.
Exactly. Exactly.
It seems to be, everyone seems to be kind of giving it the time of day now. And I remember being a kid watching it, and I loved it. I've always loved that film. I think it's one of my favourites. But there was always this kind of backlash and this kind of embarrassment that it didn't feature Michael Myers. But I love it. I've always loved it. It's kind of strange now that people are embracing it, because I've always been used to people hating on it. But yeah. I think it's great. I think it's a brilliant film. I'd probably put it above a lot of the Myers sequels. I think some of them were quite shoddy as they went on. But I think Halloween 3 is a great film. Fantastic.
Is that film, because we've all done it. Neither of you can lie. You sat there at night and all you're going, happy Halloween. I do it all the time to myself. I'm like, it's got me again. It's got me in its grasp. It kills me off every time. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, great, that's me for the next week singing this song.
Yeah. It's just a good one. It's just a bizarre story when you think about it. It's a bit sick, but it's great. I mean, it's got all the key ingredients. You got Dean Cundiff, the cinematographer, Carpenter doing the music again. You got Tommy Lee Wallace directing. It feels like a Halloween film, even though Michael Myers is not in it. It's got a good mood, good atmosphere.
And they also pay homage to it in Halloween Kills from the trailer footage I've seen.
Yeah, with the kids with the masks. Yeah.
So clearly, obviously, there's a hunger for people wanting to sort of get that nostalgia in, like a little Easter egg, isn't it, kind of thing.
Yeah. There's little things like the scene when he walks into the house and picks the hammer up, and the woman, she looks like Mrs. Elrod from Halloween 2. She's got the hair curlers in, and she's got the pink dressing gown. It's little things like that. It's just, I mean, they're for people like me that just kind of watch these films thousands of times, but it's pretty good.
I have a quick question actually, and it's a bit off topic. So you and your lovely partner Lucy, you have 3 pets, 3 Sphinx cats. Has anyone ever said to you? And I can imagine there's people out there like who would want to put your cats in Sphinx cats. So Merlin, Marilyn, and Manson.
That's
surely
correct.
they'd be perfect. Like I'd love to see them in a little British horror film. Just appear out of nowhere.
Sphinx cats are cool though, aren't they? Really cool, like animals as well, like the way they look.
Well, like I say, if you follow Chris's profile and on Instagram, you'll see all these amazing, moments that you have with the cats and as you call them, the kids. And just the day you had one of them in the box and you're doing the Star Wars, it's little things like that. I mean, they've even got their own little cards, haven't they? They've got is it gift cards, birthday cards?
Yeah. They're quite they're more famous than we are. You know, they're quite. But people seem to love them. You know, we you know, they're our kids, and we try and incorporate them into the, you know, strange, wacky life we lead and stuff like that. But yeah.
There's no way I could have had you on. No way we could have had you on this podcast without mentioning them, because they are massive highlights, I think.
I've only ever seen you mentioned Manson. I didn't realise you had 3, which is very cool, because my wife keeps asking me for a Sphinx cat.
Watch Chris's video.
I'm just gonna send my wife Chris's page. She can just look at his cats.
Yeah. They could be like our sort of like was it? We could be like step uncles, surrogate pets.
Yeah, they're different to normal cats. They want a little bit more of attention. You know, they get very needy especially in the winter months, because they get very cold. So you've got to kind of wrap them up, and you know, you can't get rid of them. They're very hungry as well.
Right.
Well, maybe I'm a Sphinx cat.
Yeah, maybe you are.
I'm cold and hungry.
Spirit animal.
Yeah.
Spirit animal, perhaps.
Yeah, they've got very big appetites, them cats. Very big. Very
well, if
big.
anyone's listening to this and they want to make a short horror film or anything like that, put the cats in it. Obviously, get permission first.
Yeah, don't take the cats.
Don't take the cats. Ask permission first. But they deserve to have a little cameo, I think, somewhere along the lines. Especially the Marilyn's little hairs on the back of her ears.
Everyone talks about the tufts on them cats' ears. The cats' tufts have got a fan club.
They are famous, aren't they? They are. I've seen people talk about it.
They're famous. Yeah, they're famous. You know, I don't know what the deal is with that, but everyone seems to comment on the tufts. I've no idea. Have you seen the new James Bond film?
Not yet. I have not.
No. There's a Sphinx cat in it. Yeah, there's actually a Sphinx cat. Is it Q, the guy that makes all the gadgets for Bond?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they go to his house. He's got a Sphinx cat. So there's a bit of a Sphinx cat joke. So
Winshaw, isn't it? I think that's the acting. Yeah. Plays. Has the cat got tufts on the ears?
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly,
I didn't actually know that Sphinx cats had like little bits of hair.
Well, no, because that's the strange thing, isn't it? Because usually, obviously, you know, a Sphinx cat is known for having no hair.
Mm. And it just got these little tufts.
Yeah, exactly. That's the famous thing. So, like I say, someone, with permission, put them in a movie. Cameo team. Neil Marshall, make another film.
Believe me, Lucy will be dressing them cats up on Halloween. She will be putting them in costume. One of them's got a Freddy jumper. One of them's got a Jason shirt. You know, they will be getting dressed up on Halloween. Believe me.
When the time comes, because obviously, you know, congratulations, by the way. We know you got engaged last Halloween. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Are
the cats going to play a part in the big day?
She wanted them to walk down the aisle.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You always hope. You never know, do you?
No. It all depends where we have it. Actually, we've not decided on a venue yet, but you know, I know she'd love them to be there in some capacity, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it. It all depends where we have the wedding, so we'll have to.
Of course, yeah. Well, I suppose COVID's obviously stopped everything happening and stuff, but at least now life's reopening a little bit. We get to go to Horrorcon. We get to go to You'll Be There in Spirit. Thank you. And we get to go watch Halloween Kills. So that's not too bad.
Life is good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. Yeah, should be a good one. There's a couple of people I'm meeting on Saturday. A couple of the Friday the 13th people. The director of Part 6. I've not met him yet. And who else is there? Oh, there's little Alex Kittner from Jaws, the kid that's on the raft that gets eaten.
Yes, I forgot. Do you know what? After Richard Dreyfuss, to me, everyone in Jaws was just not going anymore. Because Richard Dreyfuss broke my heart not going. So I thought, well, no one else is going now, probably.
I don't think he did it to spite you.
Well, probably not, no. But, you know, as everyone knows, when cancellations happen, they hurt. They hurt.
They do. What can you do, though? I'm surprised Tom Atkins is going to be there, to be honest with you.
I mean, too.
We keep on saying that. I mean, obviously, with respect for love of horror, if they watch this, please do. But I feel like, you know, Tom Atkins, 87 years old, I'm thinking, he's the most badass out of them all coming in, isn't he, really?
Definitely, yeah.
Is it Night of the Creeps where he goes, thrill me? I imagine someone's like, maybe you shouldn't go, and he's like, thrill me. Yeah. Just because he's that much of a badass, to be honest with you.
I think, like I say, you know, hats off to him. If he's there on Saturday, which I'm sure he will be, then, you know, it's cool. So
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you know, once Dreyfus cancelled, I thought, well, Tom Atkins is going to be definitely cancelling now. But you know, good on him for showing up. I met him at London a few years ago, Tom. So he's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Likes a pint, I believe.
I didn't see him drinking, but yeah, in the movies he likes to drink.
definitely, and he's very good with the women as well.
Art imitates life.
Yeah. He's got an eye for the ladies, Tom. Yeah, definitely.
Are you meeting Tim Curry? Or have you met him before?
No, I'm not meeting Tim. I don't know why. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not. You know, I'm going to offend someone. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not a big Rocky Horror fan. So it's kind of lost on me a little bit. So, but I get to save money. So
yes,
a lot of money.
180 quid was it for a signature?
Is that what it is?
No, I think 100. Actually, I know the photo's 150 to my friend who's going. He's getting a picture with him. It's 150, and then I think it's. I know it's there's like a meet and greet option now, which is £300. I think you can actually add it on to your photo.
Okay.
So you know you're already paying it anyway, kind of half of it. But I think it's like you get 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes with him. For
3 minutes.
£100 a minute.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah. But I suppose that's the way cons are going now, isn't it? I mean, that's no disrespectful of a horror, of course. I mean, Comic Cons everywhere. They've caught on to the business module of the whole thing. And to be fair, I still love them because we get to meet all these heroes of ours, and like the Monster Squad. We're going to be there on Saturday. I never thought I'd get to meet two lads that I really looked up to as a kid when I watched that movie. And
me and Paul went.
Sorry,
me and Paul went drinking with the guy from the Monster Squad.
Oh, Ryan Lambert, yeah.
Ryan Lambert, yeah. We went. Yeah. Paul knows him a little bit. So with the first LA trip we went on, we arranged to meet him. So we ended up having a night out with him. That was quite interesting.
That's quite interesting.
That's pretty cool. I've never drank with anyone famous. I went up to Ainsley Harriott in Lush once. That was weird. And for some reason, I went green pepper. I don't know why I did it. To this day. And if you're watching Ainsley, sorry about that. It's weird. I'm 16. I don't know why I did it.
Imagine if Ainsley Harriott watched this. That's tag him.
Apparently, our most watched demographic are people in Korea, which is pretty cool. We don't speak Korean, sadly, but hello.
We should do the shout out, really.
Thank you for watching us. So yeah,
unbelievable.
The end of this.
Definitely.
Thank you for letting us take your podcast virginity, Chris. That's
it's gone too quick.
Yeah, thank you for that.
It's gone too quick, guys. I could talk to you for another 3 hours, but
you can always come back on again. You can always come on again.
Come back on with
if you want me back, guys, I will come back.
You're welcome on whenever, mate. And thank you so much for coming on. And I hope you have a great day. I'm sure you'll meet our Rob, won't you?
I'll seek you out at Love a Horror.
Hopefully you have a pint for me. And have a great time, mate.
Definitely, yeah. Rob, I'm just going to say this one thing to you. Has anyone told you level like Edgar Wright?
Edgar Wright?
You know, gets Jason Lee.
I get Jason Lee quite a lot.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright, wow.
I normally get Fat Sam Smith, so I'm glad you didn't say that to me. Thank you.
Sam Smith did a bomb.
But Fat Sam Smith hates. If they said Sam Smith, I'd be fine.
No, do you know, have you seen This Is England?
Yes.
I think he looks like
Thomas Turgoose.
Thomas Turgoose from This Is England. Maybe not right now, he's much more handsome, I think, Chad is.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, you just got bastard Edgar Wright. I'm Thomas Turgoose.
To be fair, it's not a bad comparison, but I've not heard the Edgar Wright one before, so that's...
You know what? Now you said that, I see it more than Jason Lee, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Edgar, if you watch this as well, then hit like.
And subscribe. So, yeah, cheers.
With me on it, they'll probably be going like that,
Yeah.
Right, yeah, great. Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and we'll get you on soon. And have a great time Saturday.
Thanks for getting me on, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Much appreciated.
See you later.
Cheers for that, Chris. Thanks for coming on. Make sure you go follow Chris over on his Instagram. His collection is great. It is, what is it again, Rob? Orange?
I think it's orange_horrors_groove. But if it's not, actually, I got that wrong.
Groove Grove?
Type in Orange Groove, you'll find him.
Yeah, you'll get him. Yeah, and we've got some shows coming up for our, obviously we've said this before, we put films on. I've got Trick or Treat on the 15th, but by the time this comes out, that'll already be done. But Rob has with Cult Cinema, you have the Highlander. Is it the Highlander or just Highlander?
Just Highlander.
Sweet, with Christopher Lambert, or Lambert, however you pronounce it. So yeah, check all of our socials to see that. We've also got Hocus Pocus on.
Yes,
which is pretty cool.
Wicked Cinema, they're going to be showing it for Halloween, so that's going to be pretty good fun.
Very cool, and we've got loads of cool movies coming in November, obviously, and our Christmas shows in December. So make sure you keep up to date. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on our socials. Cheers, guys. Thank you.